So, I saw the clip. I saw all types of clips of the prototype's reveal of who he actually is. Bro, Poppy Playtime, I don't care what anybody says, they are unique as hell. Like, I haven't seen any other game do a puzzle chase scene like Poppy Playtime does, unless they're trying to copy Poppy Playtime. Like, I think FNAF. No, not even FNAF. FNAF was still a point and click when Poppy Playtime was coming out. But uh, in my opinion, Mob Entertainment is doing really good things with Poppy Playtime. I know that Chapter 5 was divided for a lot of people. Like, most are positive, but there is some a little bit more negative than I would have liked. But that's a given. People are just going to be constantly negative, no matter if you made a masterpiece, which I think Chapter 5 was a masterpiece. I am concerned for the future, though. But in terms of story, it's pretty unique. Okay, so I'm just going to put a spoiler warning. Just so you know, there will be spoilers. Just so, if you ever wanted to go back and play it and try to figure out the tapes, find all the tapes for yourself and see what they do. This is your warning now. Spoilers. The prototype being Poppy's brother was not on my bingo card of what he could be. I think it's interesting. I think it's cool that Ollie was an actual person and not just a voice. But all of the domino pieces were there. Like, because from what we know, the prototype takes voices from already existing people and uses that as his voice, so it makes sense that Ollie would have been a real person, but nobody suspected that. I think that that's a really good twist. I know people are probably gonna bitch and moan like, "Oh my god, it's so basic." Tell me a game where the twist villain was a brother. I I don't I don't know of any game, horror mascot game where that's a thing, but that explains a lot about why Poppy is so special to the prototype. It's funny because I was even questioning that myself. Like, oh, the story is so flawed. Like, we're one game away from the finale. Seemingly, I think it's gonna be I think 6 is gonna be the finale. If not, to be honest, I'm losing faith in Poppy Playtime if 6 is not the final chapter. Anyway, uh, that was my one complaint, other than obviously Huggy Wuggy dying. But that was my one complaint about Poppy Playtime, is that it's going on to a 6th game, and we still don't know the prototype's history. Uh, but egg on my face, I should have known because I've only watched YouTubers play the game, and they don't find tapes because obviously they're trying to focus on playing the game, so they're not gonna go around looking for lore. But um, that was like the only tape that they didn't find, which fair enough. It was like tucked away. You would have to go out of your way to find it, which I like that about Poppy Playtime too. I like that they give you replayability to find lore, because you have to go out of your way to search for some of the tapes in order to find it. You know what I mean? So I respect Poppy Playtime for doing that. I really do. I respect any mascot horror that has replayability for the sake of trying to find secrets, so then you don't feel like you have to play again. Like, I'm sure it's gonna get revealed, because I don't think it would be fair to other people who don't look for lore to not find out that Ollie and Poppy are siblings. So I think that it needs to be revealed next chapter, because there's some people who aren't going to look for the lore and don't look at anything for spoilers. And then, obviously. I like that it's not Ludwig. I know that we were theorizing about, like, oh, Elliot Ludwig is the prototype because he died. That was even my theory on the last Poppy Playtime video that I did. I said that Elliot Ludwig is pissed off and trying to make a rebellion against Playtime Co. because of what they did to his family. And then, yeah. But Elliot's dead, and I think that's why Poppy and the prototype worked together in the first place. And I think that's also why her and the prototype constructed the Hour of Joy, to get revenge on the people who killed their father. And I think this confirms that Leith Pierre did kill Elliot Ludwig. I think that is confirmed now, because there's no other reason why the prototype and Poppy would want to kill everyone in the factory, well, other than obviously the torture of children. But the prototype always seemed like a character who didn't give a crap about other people, because, like, he literally murders people just for holding information. So there has to be a benefit for him killing them, and that's obviously revenge. And then obviously the prototype goes too far and kills any human that enters just because of protection of the toys. I think the prototype's main motif is power. He needs to be in power because of his jealousy towards Poppy. That's why he keeps Poppy alive, because it makes him feel good that Poppy is smaller than him. Because in the audio tape, we literally hear Ollie's jealousy towards Poppy, and he's like, it's always about Poppy and all of that, that he feels neglected. So the fact that he is this big bad and pulling the strings behind everything while Poppy is stuck in a case, that makes him feel powerful, that makes him feel good. They write Envy so well in Poppy Playtime. Bro, this, I'm telling you, Mob Games does not get enough love. Which is obvious, because people just cannot stop having a hate boner for literally everything. But, but yeah, I liked this. I liked Chapter 5. I really did, and I love the characterization of the prototype. He sees himself as a god because of the envy he feels towards Poppy. I think that's the real reason he keeps Poppy alive, because he wants to feel superior to her, because of all his life as a child, Elliot was giving attention to Poppy rather than Ollie, which is fair enough. Elliot literally made an entire toy line based off his daughter, and then Ollie gets, what, a phone? The phone's not even called Ollie. We just slapped a sticker on there and boom, phone. But yeah, I love it. I love that. I love that it wasn't. It breaks the mold for. Um. It breaks the mold for mascot horror. You know what I mean? It breaks the mold from the classic, oh, grieving father turns evil and goes to kill a bunch of people because of his rage. No, it's calculated. Ollie is a broken child, but I think it's one of those instances where it's like being broken doesn't make it okay for what you did, right? I think Ollie is still somewhat of a bad person, because he was neglected. It's not like a Dobby situation where it's like, I understand completely why you crashed out. You got neglected and then died, and they just moved on with their life rather than feeling saddened. You know what I mean? Like it's different. It's complicated. Also, the father abused, but Elliot seemed like a good father, just neglectful of Ollie. So even after Ollie was made as the prototype, it seemed like Elliot was still like neglectful because he's like, we can still be a family if you want. Like, if you want, you're the father, you make decisions for him. What do you mean if you want? Like, you're supposed to ensure that the child is like, you know what I mean? Like it like, I don't know, man. Elliot just comes off like he's not a good person, which that would be another cool twist. I'm tired of the whole, oh, good guy, bad guy stuff. Just have every character be morally gray. I don't want there to be no Henry Emily situation where it's like, oh, Elliot Ludwig was the good guy of the team, and Leith Pierre was the psychotic loser who was power hungry. No, I want Elliot Ludwig to be a morally gray character. Like, he's done questionable things. Now, I mentioned Henry because right now we don't know if Henry was going along with William when William was taking over when William was taking over um, Murray Industries. Is that the name? Murray Industries? Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. But right now it seems like Henry has all of his ducks in a row. I don't want that to be Ludwig, but I don't know, man. I'm nervous for chapter 6 because they got to do a lot of things right, um, for me to not consider this a failed game. Obviously, if Huggy doesn't return, I'll be a bit upset, but it's not going to be like game ruining. I just really want Huggy to return. I'm sorry. I'll always harp on that. I need Huggy to return. It needs to happen. But anyway, make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.